Did you want waffles?
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, which means the Earth has gone as far around the sun as it does in 1 week. I don't know.
That's a way to phrase it.
7 times. We've completed 7 rotations. We haven't gone around the sun 7 times. It's early. Welcome to the morning.
It's too early for like this astrophysics, mathematical. What you're talking about here?
Yeah. So anyway, that's
Astrology,
a good transition
say.
into our guest, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
How's it going, folks? That would be the best transition.
Did I ever tell you that I got to debate whether or not gaming belonged in the Olympics with Neil deGrasse Tyson, which was not something that I like went out and was like, ooh, I should do this thing. Like I want to debate this topic. It wasn't even one that I felt particularly strongly about, where I was like, I think gaming belongs in the Olympics. It was, we were sitting in a room, Neil deGrasse Tyson decided that he wanted to debate this topic, and then I got assigned arguing why it should belong in the Olympics, which is wild.
I remember when you brought that up, the thing that got me was you did it casually.
Yes.
Like you said it very casually, like it's like, oh yeah, this one time. Because obviously we said something that led into it, and then it was just, yeah, this one time I was Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I'm like, hold on, there's a lot of context here that I feel, there's no way that, and it's just like, hey, you can just go for, like you just drop that. You need to let me know what's going on.
Anytime I bring it up, I do bring it up a little too casually, I feel like.
Okay. So,
good morning, everybody.
We've been keeping Neil waiting. What's up?
Good morning. How are you, Junie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I have I don't want to say a problem, but I miss when we can't have episodes. Then I have to then go, what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
And instead of being productive, I just like spend an hour just staring at a wall or playing Yu-Gi-Oh again, something like that. I have a problem.
I do feel bad anytime we have to like cancel an episode. We weren't able to. We had to cut our Friday episode last week short
for a valid,
super valid reason, and I'll explain what happened, because I do feel bad that we had to cut it short. But we had to cut Fridays short, and then Monday there was a I will call it a scheduling miscommunication, where my wife and I both had off work on Monday, and so she, being a very, very sweet individual, was like, I'm gonna make plans for us to do something fun on that Monday, and made plans with friends of hers to we went out to this like beautiful garden area, and like got to see a bunch of plants and waterfalls and a cool tower. Like there's a ton of stuff that was over there. But she did plan it in such a way that we left the house at like 7:30. And Junie texted me Sunday night and was like, "You good for the episode tomorrow?" And I was like, "Damn it!" I knew there was a reason.
My wife also does not remember that I do a set in stone bi-weekly thing at the same time
every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monday
It's
and
very.
Friday,
We
8
have a
a.m.
shared calendar. But I completely understand. Uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, so Friday, I got a text from my wife while we were doing the show, that was like, call me. And I was like, that's a weird text to receive, not a text you want to receive. I was like, okay. And then immediately, like now, I was like, oh, am I in trouble? So I excused myself from the call, walked off into the living room, got on the phone with my wife. I was not in trouble. My wife drives a small car, and a very large truck had slammed into the front of her car. So it was 100% the fault of the truck. She had the right of way and was driving on a road, and the truck pulled out of a parking lot and just slammed into the front of her car. Apparently, he looked to the left, looked to the right, looked back to the left, and then without ever looking anywhere else, just pulled right out. And he said he heard a crunch, and was like, oh, what was that? And then looked and saw the car, and it's like, huh, wild that it's there. So that was last week. We currently only have one car, and her car is almost definitely totaled. So that's great. This is also the second accident that her car has had within like the last couple of months, and
Oh
neither
God.
of them have been her fault. Both of them have been another car just sort of like slamming into hers,
Oh my God.
which is just so frustrating. But insurance, being the wonderful, helpful people that they are, have not done anything, and
I was about to say. I
they
was just
haven't
like,
like gotten in touch with us. They haven't done anything, because like they don't want to. So we have to go through the other guy's insurance because like he's fully and wholly to blame.
yeah.
But that means that we're waiting on his insurance to be like, oh yeah, let us give you money and like give you a rental car and stuff like that. So in the meantime, we just have my car, and my car is like a bigger car, and she doesn't like driving it. And so that means that when she wants to go to like Zumba or the gym or stuff like that,
You're driving.
it does mean that I have to drive,
Hmm.
which is super fun. I love her. I love her so much, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't, but I do, so I will. Um, but I'm very tired.
I got you. I understand. Uh, I was gonna do the thing where I'm like to relate. I go with what like Oh, as relatable. I do things I don't want to, and I don't know if that mine's is really stupid, but it's kind of dumb. Um, I consider whenever Shanice watches something that she knows gives me reality TV shows give me anxiety because
Okay, it's
I
not
can't
scripted.
turn.
Anything could happen.
No, it's not that. It's you can't watch a reality show with me because my producer video editor brain
Mm-hmm.
knows that certain things are chopped in a way
Yeah,
to create things in a certain way. Like,
yeah.
it's like they didn't pause that long. They chopped it up to make it look real dramatic. Um or like, hey, that guy didn't have a phone in his hand this time. They put that backwards so it would look like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I can see things like that. So one, I it get that gets me, but also I hate that people think that like they always act as if they don't know this is gonna be seen by people.
Mm-hmm.
So they say and do things that are like wild, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you?
Where you're
So
just
right
like,
now she's
you're
watching.
clearly a bad person. Like, why would
I
you?
just,
What? No, this doesn't make you look good.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's watching Married at First Sight right now.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't want. I always say I don't watch this stuff, and then I
Mm-hmm.
end up sitting in the living room or standing nearby.
Well, what are you supposed to do if it's on already?
That's what I mean. She
Yeah.
knows. She knows I can't just like, So yeah. So but I'm just like I can't with like I'll just have to leave the room
Yeah.
because like I don't know, somebody literally there's somebody, and I feel so bad that they're being portrayed this way,
Mm-hmm.
but it is, you know editing to highlight the, whatever, but they said something and then said, when did I say that? And then it did say in the bottom left corner, like 10 minutes earlier, and rewound things to them verbatim saying whatever they said she didn't. Um, and I was
That's
just
freaking
like,
funny.
that's, come on, like, girl, like, okay, she's not aware of it. But
Right.
then she, the last thing on this, but she threw tantrum, and her tantrums were kind of explosive, and she'd flip things, and as she's walking kind of go to knock things over, and it's very like she wants, I think that I want to break things type of anger.
Right.
um and then during like their therapy or something like that, he left because she gave him anxiety, like
Uh-huh.
panic attacks. And and she said he has no evidence of blah blah blah. And then they cut to a montage of all
They
her
did
like
her so
things.
dirty.
Yo, and I'm just like, yo, man, girl, like
Oh,
I would have chosen those words, like, you know what I mean?
that's
Like, I
so
like,
funny.
no, he literally
He
does,
has no evidence. It's a TV show.
it's a TV show,
We all have the evidence.
yeah. And she says like, I hate this because this is
Oh,
like,
that's so funny.
there's always like a portrayal of like, like an angry black woman or something like that,
Hmm.
and she's like, she feels that it's like perpetuating a stereotype.
Right.
And then I said, I don't like the Spanish couple's portrayal because they have gone through a very up and down relationship where they're madly in love, they hate each other, they broke up 3 times, they're going through the full
Yeah.
a Spanish relationship, no telenovela drama,
That's so
in
funny.
less than 2 months. And I was like, don't give them the
Right.
full experience
Right.
in 2 months.
There's
It usually takes us a year of toxicity to
yeah.
get that. You're giving them it in 2 months.
Somebody's
Uh,
somebody's gonna die and a twin is gonna show up.
Yo, for real though, it's like dumb stuff like that. It's like, oh, she called me another man's name, so I locked her out of the apartment at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, y'all been together for 3 weeks, dog. Like, what? Like, are you serious?
Oh
What's
man.
happening? Yo, we're a TTRPG morning show.
We
Uh,
absolutely are. Oh man. On that note though, we're
mhm.
Grace and I are currently watching like random seasons of Survivor.
Oh,
And in the season that we're currently watching, we just finished the like second to last episode. We have the finale left. And we can't get ourselves to watch it because it's 2 hours long, and we're like, I don't know if I want to. Like, we'll watch 3 episodes in a row, but if one episode is 2 hours long, that somehow seems like a lot longer that we have to be like
mhm,
invested.
mhm.
Um, but there's one guy in this season who is like so clearly just a horrible person. Like things didn't go his way in one of the like tribal council votes, and so he came back to camp and like took the machete and the hatchet and like the different tools and just hid them in the jungle, and then like came back to camp and they were like, okay, well, we'll figure things out and we'll go about it doing this way, and like found ways around it even though he had hidden the stuff. And so he just like dumped water into the fire and stuff, and I'm like, you're not playing a smart game, you're just aggressively stupid. Like this is the incorrect way to
Yeah.
play this game.
Yep.
My secret there's a word for it and I can't remember what it is, but my like secret belief is that I would be very good at Survivor. Like I don't have a ton to back that up, but like I feel like I'd be pretty good at Survivor.
I think I would be kicked out really early, or a solid mid game, because I would play, I would, not play, which whatever the wherever the tides are turning type of thing.
Uh-huh.
But
You'd be
there'd be
trying to
like
make alliances with everybody.
no, I think it'd be one of those things. I feel like there's always a midpoint where there's somebody that is, this person could be dangerous later, but they're
Right.
too good to be kicking out early.
So
and
yeah, you're one of
and
those midpoint removals, you think?
I feel like that's where somebody would get me, where they're just like, all right, we think he can help XYZ, but he might be dangerous. It's a combination of like ability, physical
Mm-hmm.
athleticism, like there's all those little factors. And if you ever watch the first season and episode of Survivor versus like now,
Mm-hmm.
it is way more tactical.
Right.
and real crazy. And I
Because
feel like I would
they've
be,
seen all these seasons,
yeah.
they have things to go off
Some
of.
people have grown up
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah.
So there is, yeah, I think I would be like, if I had to pick, I think that would be it. Same thing
Yeah.
with The Circle.
I
The
I think
Circle. If you ever watch The Circle, I feel like I would be somehow kicked out in the middle.
I think I would be one of those people who's like, I would rely heavily on a social game. But like getting farther and farther into the show, I feel like I would just kind of be kept. There's no point in getting rid of me because I'm gonna be real bad at challenges. Like you can keep me around as long as you want because I will never win individual immunity. Like that is not something that you will ever need. But I feel like I'm one of those people that the majority of people are like, okay, yeah, I can hang with this person. Like I don't immediately like diverge from most people.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're a TTRPG morning show.
Yes. Yes.
That's what we do here. We
This
talk
is this
about
is
TTRPGs. For those of you who are new to the show, tabletop role-playing games. Junie.
me, Hunter. You, Hunter. Me.
I,
Junie,
Hunter. You, Junie.
Yes.
This show.
We show.
We.
Waffles.
I am Groot.
I waffle. Yes.
He, she, me, waffles, waffology, the study of waffles, SpongeBob reference, not even 8:30 in the morning. Welcome to the show. Here is the thing. I have a game coming up.
Cool.
A game that I am very excited about. One of my old youth leaders, from when I was in youth group at church, who was one of my youth leaders in middle school, moved up with my grade every year. So he moved up into high school with us when we got to high school, was my youth leader all through high school. And then when I had graduated and I decided that I wanted to be a youth leader, and was like helping out in the youth group as well, he and I were co-leaders for a youth group. So I worked with him as a youth leader as well. I love him. He is great. He is fantastic. He is just an incredible human being. I got to hang out with him at a friend of ours' wedding a while back, and we were talking about like what I do now and stuff like that. And he was like, "Oh, you run like corporate games?" And I was like, "Yeah, like team builder events and stuff for companies and stuff." And he goes, "We have a like once a month event where we do like games. Like sometimes it's like Settlers of Catan or something like that, but like would you be interested in running a one shot for them so that they could see like D&D?" I was like,
Okay.
yes, like absolutely. So I sent him over like 6 different options about like, here are some of my favorite one shots that I run if you're interested in any of those. Otherwise I can craft something for you specifically. Just let me know what you're thinking.
Okay.
The one that he chose is one of my favorites. I named this one Welcome to the Fungeon. And it is a one shot where they are going through essentially a like fun house, but it's a tower. So each floor as they go up the tower is a different like puzzle or monster or something like that, but everything is themed off of like some sort of like fun house or Chuck E. Cheese or carnival type thing.
Sounds horrifying.
It's so much fun. I had such a fun time like prepping it originally. But it's been a long time since I like originally prepped it. There's a lot of like changes that have occurred in the game and stuff since then. A lot of new stuff has come out, and I would love to revisit it with you. And go through and just brainstorm some ideas for different like traps, puzzles, different things to allow them to like move through the tower.
All right. Yeah. No, that sounds cool. I like this. Okay. All right.
So there are a few key pieces that are a part of this that need to stay. There are other things that are wide open. I don't care. We can drastically change things.
Okay.
The pieces that need to stay are each of the floors. There are 5 floors before the like end fight floor. Each floor is themed to a different color: red, white, black, blue, and green. The reason that they are themed to those different colors is at the end, the boss fight at the end, like Chuck E. Cheese has the like animatronic band that is up there. The end fight is a animatronic Tiamat who
Okay.
is like up on the stage like performing but it's like 5
Okay.
different dragon heads, and
Okay.
so they each room is themed with like one of those head colors, and then in order to move on to the next floor you need to get whatever the like key is to open the door and move into the next one. So it's like kind of a escape room type thing as well. The That's sort of the theme of it. The one like monster fight that absolutely has to stay because it is my favorite homebrew monster I've ever made, is the ball pit mimic.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The ball pit mimic is a pit full of mimics who have all taken the shape of tiny little balls, and they attack anybody who goes in there. Those are the only like these are hard and fast. These need to stay in my like from my original design. Everything else can like grow and change and like be added to. So Fungeon, Funhouse, Chuck E. Cheese, Carnival, like arcade, anything like that. All of that is on the table. Anything immediately come to mind for you?
This is a fun DM exercise. How do you, when you go, I'm planning a one shot and you know it's something
Yes.
you need to be completed in uh definitely less than 4 hours, usually less than three,
Yeah.
and maybe sometimes less depending on the person, the group. So
Hmm.
if everybody knows what they're doing, they have characters, you're lucky if you get three, so sometimes it's less than that. How many scenes, rooms, things do you like to have in your pocket essentially? Because we could
Sure.
go like extensive, you know what I mean? But if you're like, I like to have three,
So
initial thingy, the main big thing, and then a big ending type of thing.
right. Usually what I do is I prep my like core middle, which is why the this one is divided into like there are 5 floors and then the end fight. So that is my like core middle. That I feel like that can be done in, if characters are already made, 1.5 to 2 hours. As long as people are like moving through it. And we don't make anything crazy hard. The Then what I do is I add additional content to beginning and end. So like in the you have a scene in the beginning where it's like in the tavern hearing about this and like journeying to the place, or I used to have for this particular adventure, I had laser tag as part of the original one. So there's a like wall around the tower, and the whatchamacallit, the like area between the courtyard between the like wall and the entrance of the tower is just a massive like laser tag or paintball type arena. And there are just like goblins and kobolds running around like with wands that they just like throw forward, and just like throws a little like laser, or throws a like a paintball or something like that out of it at the other people. And so they have like a room where they like put on vests and get these wands, and they're like running through, and anytime they get hit they go back to the beginning. So they have to like find their way through, and they can like they can slowly eliminate like all the kobolds and goblins who are throwing stuff. They could like side with either the kobolds or the goblins to help them eliminate the other ones, or they can just try and like blitz their way through. But if they get hit, they would take the get sent to the beginning and have to start again. So it's that is a large time sink usually. But usually the reason that I had that one there originally was because I was running it for like introductory one shots and like corporate games and stuff, where I was like, I need to teach you the mechanics of combat without any actual threat to you, before you are in a situation where you're fighting robot Tiamat. So that's what the like laser tag paintball mechanic was there for, was like, you're gonna learn how to attack other people, and you're gonna learn what it looks like when they attack you, but you don't have to take any damage. There's no like actual problems here.
I like that. I've done something similar where it was more of just like a bracelet and vest that just kept them alive. But they because they were teenagers and I knew they would like the level of violence, they would explode and die if somebody like it would happen. Like the ramifications of like, it's just like somebody, I think, fireballed something as an example, and then it was like a rewind to, and then they were back. But it was to teach them the example, like it's like, here's how you fight, but you're safe, like go for broke type of thing. Like, here you go. But I think that's a safe and fun way to go about it.
I like teaching the mechanics without the risk in that environment,
Yeah,
while still having it be a part of the like story of like, this isn't just a like, this isn't it's a tutorial stage. Like, you can't die in the tutorial. Like, nobody's doing enough damage to you to actually matter, but you're still like moving through and learning the mechanics of the game.
yeah, yeah. That's a good way to go about it. I like it.
So, but yeah, that's usually what I like to pad out time. That would be what I would put on either end of it. I think this session is supposed to be about 2 hours, if memory serves. So keep it
if
to
we
core.
Think about if we're thinking about things that are in a fun house, there's going to be things like mirrors. There's going to be like the distorted mirrors.
Mirrors is a good one.
Sometimes there's slides. Frustrating, like just moving things, like like a spirally portion, or stairs that move, or like things that sway and such. A maze, but that could also be like a mirror maze too, type of thing there. Trick doors, I've never been in one like this, but where somebody gets like flipped over, like not flipped over, but like somebody gets, there's a separation or something like that.
The classic, like somebody pulled a book off of a shelf and the whole thing like spins around and traps them.
Yeah. And,
I like those.
There is what else? And if you're thinking also like Chuck E. Cheese, because you mentioned like things like that. There's obviously the ball pits, but like there's always like games like claw machines, arcade games, stuff like that. So if there's like almost it's a puzzle, but it's flavored as a game, but you get tickets, like something to reward, like a reward of some sort, and it's in order to get the thing you need tickets. So if you need a key to get through something, or the main thing you need, you have to do some other unrelated thing like skee ball or something else to get enough tickets to get the main thing.
I like that.
Uh,
you could have a an arcade, like an arcade type room where you get tickets for like completing stuff, but then there's like a prize counter that just has like
mm-hmm,
different stuff that they'll sell you for the tickets before you move on to the next room. I
mm-hmm.
used to have a like vending machine in this game that would take tickets and give you like different prizes, and some of them were like really good, and some of them were nothing. But you wouldn't know what they were until you bought them, because nothing was labeled, and so there were like potion bottles and stuff like that. There was also a like this large, delicious cake that said it had a little label on it that said the cake of resurrection.
Ooh.
And they spent so many tickets unlocking that, getting that cake of resurrection. And when they when they had somebody die in the Tiamat fight, they fed the person the cake and nothing happened. And they were like, it's the cake of resurrection. I was like, uh, the cake is a lie, because it was just like a Portal
You suck.
reference. But that group was a like hardcore gamer group.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like I
All
knew
right.
they would
Yeah.
get the reference. Not as useful in a in a
Mm-hmm.
like corporate game setting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
my favorite one of those was the all the potions were up on the top shelf of the vending machine, and they only cost one ticket, but if you put in a ticket, it would like the little spiral thing would like and then the potion bottle would drop and it would hit the bottom and it would shatter.
That sucks. That's something that I feel like people go back and forth on a lot with potion bottles is the level of indestructibility or
Uh-huh.
like the level of how tough the potion bottles are.
Mm-hmm.
Because like potion bottles break, but it's like, well, they have to be like durable because like there's the contents are magical, so the glass
Right.
is either magical or like a very hard crystal of
Mm-hmm.
some sort. My I use a I've used yeah, I think it's still a Don John one, but they have a Postman generator that I use for like my potions.
Yeah.
And they give a lot of interesting vessels. You know what I mean? It'll
Mm-hmm.
be like a hollowed out bone with a cork or something like that,
Yeah.
or like it's literally
I
it looks like a
I
translucent sleeve.
love giving potions that aren't in like just regular glass
Yeah.
bottles. It's so much more interesting.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I I
And
used to give people I don't I had a group where they needed to do an like underwater thing where they were going to go down underwater, and so I had somebody give them potions of water breathing, but they were just all of them were fish. It was just like a full like raw fish that was handed to them, and they're like, okay, and they're like looked into its mouth to like see if the like if is the potion like in these, is it like a cup, and they're like, no, these fish has been infused with the potion, you have to eat it, and so they had to like eat a whole like whole fish, and I had them, they all ate these fish, like they all ate these full raw fish. They like made con saves from like eating this raw fish and stuff, and they finished eating it, and I told him like, the person who gave them to you is just standing there with a look of horror on his face and is like, why didn't you cook them? Like it would have no effect on the potion. Why didn't you cook them? And they're like, you didn't tell us we could cook them. And I was like, I didn't assume you would eat a raw fish. It was very entertaining. I laughed very hard. Sometimes as a GM, you put bits in there that are just for you,
oh,
where you're
definitely,
just
yeah.
like, I know for sure nobody is going to try and cook these fish. It'll be very funny if I just make a point of saying that they could have.
Oh God, yeah. I've had fun with this scribe. I've said before where one of my favorite DM tips is describe things kind of broadly to let your players fill in a gap and do some of the
Mm-hmm.
processing. So sometimes I'll do a flavor and it's magic, so you can just explain it away. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. What what's the happiest memory you have? And then I'll try. It tastes like that. It
Yeah.
tastes like being
It's such a
like
good
your
one.
family taking you out to the beach, like eating ice cream or saltwater taffy or something like that. Or like it tastes like sadness. Whatever you think that is, it's sadness. It is just a depressing flavor. Um, uh, but I think the ones that get the most reactions is always just saying wrong. Like it just tastes wrong. Like it's like chunky and not and way thicker than you'd expect.
Yeah.
And but still strangely good.
Yeah.
It's just like you're like, I don't associate good with these things. No, why are you doing this to me? Um, but oh god. Off track with the potions.
I described a potion once as tasting like yogurt fresh out of the microwave.
Oh no. I don't like that at all.
There's something very upsetting about
Uh
it.
yes. Yes and no please ever. So
Yes, and please stop.
please stop. Yes. Um so going back to so you have your ball pit mimic, you're
Yes.
gonna have the animatronic uh boss battle at the end.
Yeah. So there are
You
six floors. Because there's the 5 like floors you have to go through and then the like end fight. So we
It's
know.
wild that you like, for me, I'm like, oh god, I'm never gonna get through all 6. You know what I mean? And I know
Well,
you'll flex for time if you need to, but
right.
like
And that's the thing is that like these don't need to be like in a dungeon where it's like, oh, these
yeah.
are like a crazy amount of like stuff that needs to be done, or like floors that you need to go through or something like that of a dungeon. This is like literally one room, there is a thing you need to do there, and then you move on. The reason I did it that way was originally because for like corporate events, I hate putting people on like tracks where it's like you need to go in this direction, but for a corporate event you have to, because you're like, I only have 2 hours with you and I need to get you from A to C.
So wait a second. Is this in person?
Yeah.
Oh, then you can do the thing I like to do. Okay. All right. Never. This is you would actually not play D&D for this next part. One of my favorite things to do when you have an in-person situation is, um, yes, yes. You literally think of something. Like my favorite thing to do is um I literally put 2 players against another one at a time. I was like, you two will be competing, and this will be a test of your dexterity and your keen marksmanship. And then I take 2 freaking forks and I put them in front of each other, and then I give them a quarter, and
Oh,
then
the
I
minute
go,
to win
you
it type game.
yes, but
Yeah.
you do those, and then if there's some way you can translate, like you are more dexterous than the other one, like give them an advantage or give them 2 coins or something like that, or give the other guy like some like thing to like,
Mm-hmm.
you're big and you can do something like, so maybe you stomp the table, but the table's immovable otherwise, but you get
Right.
one good clean something else. But if it's something physical like that, you could, not saying you take the time to do it like this, but you could in theory literally make like a balloon popping game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you could literally have some where they have to
Here
pop or find something.
here are 6 actual activities that you will need to do, one
It
for
could be
each
something like that. Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Because it's literally like, it's just like make paper airplanes, and then you draw lines, and it's like almost like skee ball or something where it's like they have to get like the best denomination or target practice type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And this is how, like, you would actually give them tickets, but then you could
Mm-hmm.
actually have like little freaking actual tickets
Right.
too, because it's you're physically there, so you could literally,
Oh,
it's like you need to get X amount of things to get
yes.
whatever, so it's like you're
Oh,
literally earning them,
that's
and
very
then,
good.
you know what I mean. um
I absolutely want like real tickets to be able to hand out. That's incredible.
right? You
Yeah.
just make them on Canva. You know what I mean? You could get raffle tickets, or you could just like make them real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and but since it's right there, it's kind of like, so it would be funny. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying you go do this, but if you saved the ball pit situation for last,
Uh-huh.
and instead of all the ball pit, like instead of all the ball pit being that they're mimics, it's just there's mimics amongst them.
Right.
Because imagine spending less than $5, I think, on like you can get like a bag that's like, you know, this big of ball pit balls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then putting like double-sided tape on like a few of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then just saying there's a key in there, you need to go find it. And then they reach down, and then like they they pull their hand back and something sticks to them, and it's just like, uh-oh, everybody roll initiative, because that person's actively being eaten by a ball pit ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's just like, to me that makes it more dangerous, because then it's like, if you go the whole ball pit's dangerous, it's like, oh, that's everything is piranhas. But if it's just like, I can't tell which of the balls are
Right.
dangerous, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things where it's just like, if you feel something stick to your hand, let me know. And they'll be like, I don't want to stick my hand in. It's like, just let me know. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yeah. And I was like, okay, pull it out. And it's just like, have three ball pits, like three balls stuck to their hand. It's just like, all right, everybody rolls initiative. It's like, what does this mean? I was like, don't worry, I'll get that in a second. I just would like everybody, for unrelated reasons, to
Yeah.
please roll initiative. That's my favorite thing to say. I
Yeah.
said, for unrelated reasons, can everybody roll initiative, please?
The thing that I used to do with this monster is I would have, you know how at like Chuck E. Cheese, if you're going into the like tubes or into the ball pit or anything like that, there's like little cubbies that you have to put your shoes into. The what I used to do is you wouldn't be able to access the ball pit without like taking your shoes off and putting them into a little cubby on the wall. And they would see that there are just like dozens and dozens of unclaimed shoes that are that are just like in these cubbies. And then they would go in, and the ball pit mimic is not like all of the balls are mimics.
Okay,
the ball pit
okay.
mimic is like there are balls in there that are like
Okay.
swarming. But what I do is I give advantage against any creature that it can get to like exposed flesh, because they're tiny. They don't have like long teeth, so they can't get through like armor. But if they can get to like your feet because you have your shoes off, they have advantage on those attack rolls. And so I would have people, and they also don't do a ton of damage. But like there'd be people that are like moving around in there that just feel like something bite into their foot, and they're like, what the heck? And then something else would bite, and then it's just like swarms of biting like little rubber balls.
It's that's an option for making a physical. I just thought of another thing real quick, but I'll save it for after we get through this
Okay.
portion. Are there any carnival-y, if we thought about it as carnival way,
Sure.
or recreations of things we would find in a fun house or whatever, that you think you could do physically that don't exactly involve dice or anything, you think that would be like doable?
My worry with
Mm-hmm.
physical stuff is that there will be like, it takes time to set up a physical thing. And in a short game like this where there's only 2 hours, that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. Okay, I feel you.
So I think what I would do is have like a minute to win it game of like the different stats. So you have like one that's based on strength, one that's based on dexterity, like eat this spicy pepper for constitution, like have like a challenge for each of them.
Like it's just an Oreo that they have to sit on their face, and it's like, all right, eat the Oreo. And it's
exactly. But it's just like, here are like six tasks you can attempt. Like you have one opportunity to win each of these. For each one that you win, you'll get like this many tickets, and then you can redeem those tickets for like a variety of things, which to me means like this should be the last room. This should be the room before they go into the fight. Would be the room with the minute to win it games in it. that way it's like we break up the different fight things
Yeah.
with those. So I'm gonna put the minute to win it room. Minute to win it. I'm gonna put that at floor 5. And I think floor 3 for the ball pit.
Yeah, that's a fun, like, going. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have 1, 2, and 4 left for like what do we want to put there?
I thought about once again. I keep going back to Chuck E. Cheese. And I know it's more fun house than Chuck E. Cheese.
I
So
do
I
love
don't
the
want
Chuck E. Cheese elements though.
only because, like, when I think about what do you see at Chuck E. Cheese, and you see like someone like it's someone's birthday, and then the mascot comes out and has to sing happy birthday to them. But I also see the staff where they dread that or argue about who's gonna do it. And I just imagine like a bunch of goblins or whatever, and
celebrating some goblin's birthday.
No. Like Jerry, the one who's supposed to wear the outfit, called out and is not there, and then the people that are there, they can't fit it. And like they're trying to figure out who's whatever. So the challenge is the party, one or more of them, has to wear the mascot outfit and perform something for children.
Right.
And then the rest of the party is like the support staff getting them to do it. And the challenge is just, all right, not mess up this kid's birthday. And it's a lot of pressure and a little dumb, but I don't know why. I'm like, yo.
Oh man.
You put on the suit. You have to put on the suit and perform a birthday song.
That's so funny.
But it's not like, it doesn't fit in this, but it's like something, because I keep going
it is something that I want to, like, I'm gonna write it down on my list here. But like I feel like that is something that I want to steal and use in like just a completely unrelated game of like players walk into a tavern or something like that, and they're just like, hey, you're looking for work? I've got a job for you. We got a VIP in the back who's having a birthday, and our like birthday entertainment called out. Can you just go entertain the kid? Like we've got this costume you can put on, and then you'll need to sing the birthday song. Like I love that. I am writing it down.
I think as far as have you dived into like the illusionary walls or like moving shifting floors type of thing? Is there a section that's
we absolutely could. We've got 3 floors left to do it.
Something where like the player, like everybody has to like navigate a room where the floor is constantly shifting and moving. They got to find like the correct path. And there's always like, it's a puzzle, so it's just a matter of finding the puzzle. It runs the problem of being like in the D&D movie where the paladin is starting to go. It's just like, so we must use an ancient dwarven sequence, and it has to move equilateral movements except for every third block, and then every third block you move to the left one, and then you go like this, and then you go like them, and then it's just like, they're just gonna like step on something, and then it's all gonna go bad anyway. So it's like, you can't, I wouldn't want to go too crazy like that, but I
could do just a hall of mirrors and just hand them all a like printout of a puzzle that, or like a maze that they have to solve. And they're just like running going through the maze trying to solve it.
You know what's funny? If you had, it'd be really funny if you either by intelligence, like the like their intelligence scores, or by like you let them roll like in a general intelligence check, you have mazes of varying difficulty. And then you have them roll whatever, and then you literally give them a maze and then go, all right, you're all dropped. You all need to go. And then make a challenge that is just like, whoever's like in the back or whoever's the furthest back, someone track
the barbarian with a -3 to intelligence, like is gonna be like trying to get it. It's just this massive puzzle that they need to solve.
But you make like one shot kill creatures or something like that, and it's just like you have to in real time go. It's just like you go around to them. It's just like, all right, you see that this one picture of a sad rooster wearing a chef's hat jumps off the wall and comes at you with a fork and knife. What do you do? Roll to dodge it or hit it or something like that. There's feathers everywhere. You smell delicious. You do get past it, but they have to stop doing their maze while they.
So I put them into initiative. They all have a maze that they're trying to solve. Put them into initiative.
Yeah, they're literally trying to solve a maze, and you're like, "Hey, you need to go." And it's just like, "Can I do this at the same time?" It's like, "I never said you couldn't, but look, you're doing this." So they have to like, yeah, I'm going to just I take out my axe and I throw it. You know what I mean? Like they have to then keep doing it.
That could be fun.
But mazes or you have them roll for a track. It's like if you have like a square, like you make a certain square in it. It's like, hey everybody, you have like a green square somewhere on there. If you reach that point or something like that, just let me know when you reach it. And they'll think like, oh, that's a halfway point or something. But in reality, it's just like green square. And I was like, all right, can you roll me? And then you pick a type of save. And if they fail it, it could be like there's some sort of like detriment, like a status ailment. Like they get to the
green square and it's just a gelatinous cube.
It's a gelatinous cube, a poison spray, and they have disadvantage. And then I'm not saying you give them beer goggles, but like like something where. But I just imagine if they failed, and it's just like you see a wall in front of you, and then as you turn to go to the side, the wall kind of pivots, and then you just take the sheet out from under them and slap a new maze in front of them.
Oh.
Like if they fail a check, if they were to fail a check, yeah, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's like and it's a matter of it's like just complete the maze. Like all you have to do is get to the end. That's all it is. But it's that real life element
what it is there's no there are colored squares on like each of them, right? But they're each they're different colors. And so each person has a color associated to them. There is like the purple maze and the red maze and the green maze and stuff like that. And if you are, if you find a way through your maze to the colored square on the other one, you are teleported to the corresponding colored maze. So you go to the maze with like the barbarian who's like, this is so hard, and it's like trying to get through, and you could run to the red one and teleport to the barbarian, and now you go like sit with the barbarian and help him solve his puzzle.
That's kind of I think that's kind of fun because then
it's not even that you're getting like it's not that you have to solve the puzzle. It's not that you have to solve the maze. It's that you have to like all get onto the same puzzle, like the same maze, and then get to the end. Because otherwise you're on different puzzles.
Oh, that's interesting. That's really good.
So I'll have one one maze that's just freaking so easy. It's just like boop a doop a doop a doop.
Wait, yeah. What if it's what if it's all of you have to get to the end, right? And one puzzle has the centerpiece that just says the end.
Yes.
And the other ones have the middle square. It doesn't say the end, but they have color, the color coordination thing. And then you say you're all dropped in a corner and pick like enough corners where they're like spots where they all would be in a certain spot. And then say, all right, let me know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, where are we going? It's just like, I'm going straight for this square. I'm going straight for this one. You know what I mean? And then if they all beeline it for the middle and they all get to the middle, it's like, I'm in the middle too. I'm here. So I see it's like, no, you're in the middle, but you're in the middle and you don't see anything. Your square says the end. Nobody else's does. It's like, what? And then they have to realize, okay, there's a color on my sheet. Does yours? And it's like, yeah. It's just like, oh God, we have to. And then it's either they all have to pick one and whatever, or it's like they have to leapfrog. It's like, I need to go to yours first, and then I can go to yours, because the only way I can get to his is if I get through your maze. And it's like they have to redo the maze.
It could be so.
But I think if you use the same maze, Oh, that would be really infuriating. But you could use the same maze each time. You know what I mean? You
Right.
make one maze with different starting points, and then you go in, but they have to figure out I need to get to where everybody else is, type of
Right.
thing. Uh,
I think I like the um uh I like the concept of I have like 8 different mazes of varying difficulty. And like here is your maze, like figure it out.
figure it out.
Um
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Uh,
Um
but but like there's this thing that with physical games, I like to go. It does. We're playing a game, and we have these rules to help us like shape it and hold us together, stuff like that. But it does not necessarily have to be just this.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I have definitely in a casino taken out a deck of cards and then been like, "You're gonna play me in blackjack right now."
Mhm.
And if anybody's going to say or do something to influence this, that's where it would happen otherwise. And if you're going to try to cheat or something, that's a roll. Otherwise, you're just going to play me in blackjack right now. And and I've ruined my economy by allowing there was one game they won way too much money by the way I'd let this
I
one game play out.
I absolutely ruined the economy of one of my games by they entered a fight pit, like this massive fight pit, and they found out that you could like bet on things, and it was a to the death fight pit, and so they bet all of their gold on them winning the fight, because they were like, we're either going to win and have an absurd amount of gold, or we're going to be dead and there's no need for it anymore. I was like,
Okay.
yep, nope, that all tracks.
I thought they were gonna throw the fight or like go and hedge their bets, where it's just like, all right,
No,
just die
they
and we'll revive you.
they bet wholly on themselves to win it and won like an absurd amount of money, because they weren't well known or anything. They just showed up in this town. They were random people going in against like the champion monster, and just wiped the floor with them. Okay, so
Yeah.
we have the ball pit, we have the minute to win it, and then we have the end fight with Robot Tiamat. There are 3 floors left. I think the mazes is like a fun one to do. Let's see here. Uh
Okay.
hmm.
I'm
I
like
don't
I'm
I
like
don't know
jotting
if
this part down
I,
because I'm like I know that I like this one and I was like this one just needs to be tweaked a smidge, but it's
right.
good. The maze one, yeah.
I like the maze. My concern with the maze is that it will be time consuming. Um and like I like the maze. I think in a situation like this, it can be it could end up absorbing more time than I have to give it.
Okay. Uh, I guess just because I see it as like the there is the rush element of literally like not so much initiative like you have to wait for like them to do whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally you handing it out and saying go, and then it's more cinematic in that like you just kind of like you're walking around. It's almost like a teacher watching everybody take a test,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like something flies out at you, and then they're like okay, do that. And so you're interrupting them, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like I'm in the middle, and then you go, it's just like all right, you don't see anybody there, and then it's like I'm in the middle, all right, I'm with them, it's like no, you don't see anybody there, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
like what? So it's the time whenever the whenever we give a puzzle, there's always that the game stops because they all need to puzzle it out
Right.
outside of game.
Yeah.
Instead of you giving the puzzle and then having to puzzle it out and then do it, and then the complications
Mm-hmm.
of their actions hit them, it's they're doing the puzzle in real time and you're messing it up in real time,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no planning to do the puzzle and then whatever, because you are, instead of going turn-based mechanics like going that way, you're
Mm-hmm.
literally just going no, you're not there, and then it's like what, and and then you just hit them with things. At that point you just have a menagerie in your head of whatever you can complications you can throw at them.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else is still doing the puzzle. So whoever you're picking on at the
Mm-hmm.
time, everybody else is still doing it. Then
Right.
once they start clumping up, then they get through whatever challenges you throw at them easier, because it's just like, all right, there's that chicken again. It's like, I punch it, and it's like, well, there's 3 of you, so yeah, how do you
Mm-hmm.
punch it? You know what I mean? Once a challenge gets to the point where it's 5 of them against one thing,
Right.
I usually stop initiative.
Right.
Whenever it gets to the point where it's like more, it's now not a fight. It's just you beating this thing up. How
Right.
do you want to beat this thing up?
What
So
it
this, mhm.
what if we put a like a real world timer of
That's what I'm
like
saying. Like,
of
yeah,
you have because what we could do is, since the minute to win it games and the like prize counter where you can redeem tickets are on the floor before they go into the final fight, right?
mm-hmm.
We could have a timer on each floor of like, they are going to progress to the next floor after this timer is done.
That's
But
fantastic.
if they succeed, they get tickets.
That's good.
So they're like, we need to get through this thing.
That's
Like,
good.
we have
That's
this
really
amount of
good.
time to do it, which means that like, okay, this guy's thing is the hardest, but it like this is the red puzzle. If you get to the center of the red puzzle, you get like 25 tickets. This is the green puzzle. If you get to the center of the green puzzle, you only get like 5. But they're like drastically different in their difficulty, and then you let everybody like choose which puzzle they want to solve, instead of like randomly assigning them. And it's just everybody has to get to the end of their puzzle as fast as they can, and then we'll do the like initiative interruptions as well, to like try and slow them down. But if you chose the long one, it is also like more time that you will be in there being like distracted. And then it's just at the end of the timer, when that timer is done, everybody is like boofed up to the next room from this one, but anybody who didn't solve it gets no tickets.
That sounds good. I really like the assigning the ticket difficulty, and literally on your phone or on an egg timer or some sort of mechanism where they see a physical clock running out. um that is kind of nice. The only time, like if it's like a digital display, like your phone, or like you like literally turn a laptop down and it's like a 24 level of just like a clock winding down.
Mm-hmm.
The only time it's like something hit pause if it's like you need to describe something, or it's
Mm-hmm.
like somebody has a question. Obviously you're not going to be mean about it and be like,
Right.
y'all wasted 5 minutes me explaining how a spell works, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
well, and the thing is, everybody else, if somebody has a question though, they're only wasting their own time. If they're like, I need to interrupt to do this thing, you're wasting your own time. Everybody else is still like working on their puzzles. But that way we also can be like, I know how long I want this room to take.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you literally put a timer, then it's just like, it is what it is. Like
if
that's my
the
biggest
case
thing. I mess up with that kind of time. I give people too much time in the beginning,
mm-hmm.
where it's just like, even like just setting the stage and kind of getting progression, and then it kind of does that thing where everything ramps up to the end, and I'm trying to exposition a little more like heavy handed towards the end.
Yeah.
But putting like a real ass timer there is like great.
If that's the case, then I'm gonna put the maze on floor 2, and at floor 1 we need something easy that shows the value of tickets.
Okay.
So that when they get to floor 2 and it's like, well, do you want the easy one that gives you 5 tickets, or do you want the difficult one that's going to give you like 30? And like figuring that out, they know, okay, we need to be careful here.
Then what if it was like, moving platforms and shifting stairs and mirrors? So it's a lot of dexterity checks, athletics checks, acrobatics, and maybe perception checks. And it's just like almost American Ninja Warrior style. Like,
okay,
you see tickets, and it's just like you have to look, you know what I mean? It's just like you see the end, but it's like, get as many tickets as you can, and then that ramp is spinning and then they have to climb up a wall to parkour to get it type of thing.
Mm.
So it's like it's easy to get to in that you just have to do it or solve the little bit like, oh, if I just step from here, I see that these stepping stones, I see that those are the loose ones and I step on the right ones.
Okay.
You get those tickets. So it's like they're easier in that like the perception ones are lower because you just see it and anybody can do it. The physical ones are harder because you have to like, you know, help each other or like physically like go above and beyond or throw somebody type of thing. But they're literal like grab bags, like just literal I can just get them type of thing. And
that's interesting.
But the value as far as like it's like, do you have like a ticket exchange in the beginning and a ticket exchange at the end, or do you have the ticket exchange in the beginning?
I think there's a ticket exchange after the first floor, where they see like, oh, we got these tickets and we can use them to get these things, and then the next ticket exchange is at the end of the 5th floor.
Because I was gonna say, what if you start them at the ticket exchange and they have no tickets?
Okay. So the first floor starts with the ticket exchange, but then like they have a way to achieve tickets.
It's like, yeah, I want to get this stuff and I can't get it because I don't have tickets. How do I get tickets? It's like, oh, there's tickets right over here. And then you math it up that like no matter what, let's say they got max tickets in this room, they can only get like still lower tier stuff. But then they go, oh, but this is what's on the top tier. Like either it's the goal for the day, and then they'll have to go, do we get this thing on the lower tiers that might help us later? Or do we bank on what if we can't get more tickets later? So let's just save the tickets we get now. So if you start them in, there's a ticket thing right here, intro with it, whatever the heck it is, but they have 0, and it's like, oh, this is how we can get some. And then you go through. So is it 2 hours for the whole session?
I believe so.
So it's kind of like you have to like math it up. All right, if everybody's new, you try to spend less than 15 minutes, you know, getting characters set up and whatever, right? Let's say less than 15 minutes of setting intro, character intro. So within the first half hour, they should have characters, have gotten the premise, have seen the ticket counter situation, and then they have a half hour to, you know, hopefully less, to get through that first part and resolve their ticket early situation. And then, so if you have the next hour, you have a clean, if you try to break them up in 15-minute increments, you know what I mean? That's 1, 2, 3 rooms. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, like that equals 5. But in theory, they are hoofing it. So that would hopefully 5, you know, it's like, hopefully 10 minutes would be enough type of thing, you know, but that's obviously crosstalk and stuff like that, you know, but if it's something where it's just like, here's the challenge, and then they're just rolling and doing the challenge, and there isn't a room to explore, we're investigating this, there's not a lot of people to interact with, they do just jump into the thing. So in theory, less than 15 minutes is plausible. How many people are all together?
I think 6.
It's one of those things where you run the risk of, when it's a bigger group and there's a time crunch, that 2 or 3 people are going to be doing everything. So it's really about making it so everybody has to do a thing, and there's ways for everybody to help each other. I think this would be a definite good use case of that one homebrew rule I said, where it's like they can share each other's skill checks type of thing. So if somebody has a +5 to investigation or perception, it could be, instead of just advantage, it's like, oh, you're giving the barbarian that +5 because you are literally like to the left, go to the left, and then so they're still getting to roll, but you're giving them that bonus, and that's how you're like calling down to them, like to help them type of thing.
I like that a lot,
because it's one of those things, you want it to keep going, you want it to be snappy, you want it to basically, new room, this is the situation, less than 5 minutes of like getting ready, and then it's like you go, and so it's like a few minutes of each thing, and you want to do less formal initiative only because Everybody rolls, you're setting it up, you go, and they have to take time to think about it. They're too busy paying attention to the other guy, so they're not going to think about what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But if you literally just go in and go, here's the thing, roll, 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 or here's puzzle, go, 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 they just jump into it. And that gives you you want to bank as much time for the last big thing, because that is like a proper actual
it's a proper
thing.
fight.
Yeah. So
okay, well, if we think about the fact that like if I want to give them a good bite of D&D, right? They need a good role play encounter somewhere in here. So I think if we do I think floor 1, there is a character there to like get them started and like get all their stuff going and stuff.
Yeah, the person that is at the ticket counter or the intro hostess, whatever it is.
Like the floor 1 is about that encounter. And like getting them all like set up and things, and like off on their adventure, give them the opportunity to win some tickets down on the first floor, and then like okay, well, looks like you're ready to head out. Like you can head up those stairs now, and they head out into the stairs, and as soon as they are like all on the stairs, the door just seals behind them, and then they all like vanish, and each of them has to choose what puzzle they want to solve, and then from there, like we got the ball pit, which is a fight, but not really. It's more of a like them doing skill challenges to try and find the thing while they're being attacked. And then that just leaves floor 4 that we need to fill.
Now is it just they're exploring, like is there an overall premise of like they are looking for something, they are getting like they're sent for a specific item and then it turns out it's at the prize counter, or is it they're looking for somebody specific?
I like the prize counter idea a lot. That's very good.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you need to get this gemstone to heal the king, whatever. We know it's located in this dungeon. It was once a temple to a trickster god. You know what I mean? Like something where it's just like there's a reason it's like a temple or a dungeon, and then there are explorers thinking, okay, I'm going into this, you know, Indiana Jones level, it's a dungeony ass dungeon, and it's like, and it's just somebody like a goblin at a counter. It's like, hey, how's it going? And it's just lights and crap, and it's just like stuffed animals and like pencil toppers and dumb crap, and they're like, we're here for a gem. It's like, oh, that thing's gonna cost you 500 tickets. That's all the way up there. I can get you a slinky for 10. You know,
how do you feel about Laffy Taffy?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then just DM shenanigans if they try to beat him up or take it. And it's just like, oh, no. It doesn't work like that. You want it, you're going to have to get the tickets. And then they have, you know, so if it's like, all right, goal, get big thing, sub goal, need tickets to get big thing. Then it goes into like, all right, it could be, you know, whatever the motivation is, like, oh, you know, just money, or, oh, the king is your father. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever the situation is, like, they know they want to do it.
Right.
They're all there to play, so they're to do it. But it's like, we need maximum tickets. We need maximum tickets for that. And it's either the top is just a Dragon Slayer sword, and they just tell them like, oh, yeah, no, that thing's on the top floor. You got to go up there. You want any of this stuff? Because this stuff it may help you. And then the top is like a Dragon Slayer sword. They're fighting an animatronic, you know. So it's like the items are just there to help. And then there's like, oh, we're just going up, getting tickets to help us before the last thing, or the tickets are to get the thing we need. And then defeating Tiamat like gets you almost all the tickets you need. So they do need to accomplish some sort of tickets thing. And if they fall short, then the fun social bit is trying to convince the guy to spot you those extra 10 tickets or something stupid. But you got puzzles, you got the exploration part would be the maze part. It's like social, exploration, and combat. So, you know, social in the beginning, puzzly and skill challenges throughout. And then if you want to sprinkle another NPC in there, I would say that would slow you down in the middle.
I think what it would the way to do it is that it is the same NPC over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Who just keeps
1000%.
meeting them at the same, like every floor, to just explain what's going on.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, look at you. You made it to floor 3. That's really impressive.
Yeah. He's taking the employee entrance. I would also
the price counter has an elevator shaft that goes up the side of the building.
Personally, this is just me. If by like floor 3 they realize he is just doing that, if one of them goes, is the counter just kind of going up or something like that? Can we just like figure out how that's working? And I would let him bypass an entire goddamn floor.
Yeah.
If
100%.
they somehow like get up the first one, and then like they get like launched off of the thing as the thing comes up, he's like, all right, that was actually pretty clever. You may have bypassed an entire damn floor, and then he like sets fire to the roof or something stupid. He's like, you're not doing that again. You know what I mean? Like, give him one freebie. I'm taking the stairs next time. Well, let's just wait and follow stairs. It's like, and then he goes invisible. It's like, you can't find me. You can't find stairs. Bye. And then it's just like, you hear a door slam somewhere. And also,
you think you're real smart, but guess what? I can teleport. So boom.
I should have just did this shit from the beginning.
It's so exhausting, though.
Yeah, I only got a few of these. But yeah, no, definitely the same one. Just have that little script of like, this is what he's gonna say. And then he's going to be real bare bones because he's like, I don't have time for this. I'm on my break. He's always on his break, maybe.
Right.
Like, that's his thing.
Yeah.
He's just like, he ignores them. But yeah, so it's the initial, like, you know, whatever movie funhousey parts. Then, so floor 1, movie funhousey parts. Then I know 3 was going to be ball pit. What was the second one?
The maze. So it's set up and then the maze and then the ball pit. We could actually plan on floor 4 to just be skipped. We could set it up so that they like get the like have stuff on floor 4, but have it like also be like this is the floor that they would skip if they were going to skip one.
3's ball pit.
Yeah.
I would almost say yeah, you know what if floor 3, if like ball pit, if either somebody goes like so far off the beaten path or like rolls like a crazy, like a nat 20 and something perceptive or something like that, it's almost like they see that buried under a section of the ball pit is the path that he takes to the next one. It's like him drinking coffee, and it's like him like do, and he's just going to the next level, and they're like, yo, I think if we just go through here, we can like go to the next level. And it says like, it says level 4 and then it says level 5 and they just go to level 5. It's just like it's like you just bypass this level.
Yeah.
And then
we should have something on level 4.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to put there. Well,
okay. So the other things are
we put the birthday song there.
I mean, I still would like that, but you know, I don't want to. I know that can take time.
It can take time, but if we do it in a way that it's like pretty easy, and also is a bypassable one, we put the birthday song there, and then if they bypass it, the goblin who's like manning the whole thing is also able to be like, well, guess what? You made Timmy cry because nobody came to sing wish him a happy birthday.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, you do that part, like the you made him cry, but what if you only describe something bonkers, right? They come up and they see like swinging scythes, they see flaming lions jumping out of pits. They see like, you know, like a lich in the distance, like and they're like, oh god. And then it's the goblin's like, oh hey, hold on, hey guys, hold on, before you do that thing, I need you guys to do me a favor. Jerry called out, right? So I actually need you, come over here. And then he looks at one of them. You just either have them, my favorite thing whenever I need to pick someone, I have them all roll charisma, and whoever has the highest charisma roll at that moment, they're the one that's just exuding the most personality in that second. So it's like,
so he just chooses one of them.
Yeah, he's like, you look like you're the right size. Yeah. So look, come here, look, and then you take him to a really dumb looking outfit. It's like, I need you to put this on, right? And it's this little kid's birthday. I need you to sing happy birthday and perform a little song and dance number for this kid, right? And his 30 friends. Now, don't mess this up. I'd really appreciate it. I'll give you like a stupid amount of tickets or something, right? Don't just, I need you to do me a sidle in this one. All of you provide backup. Here's props and such. And you give them like dumb hat, like, you know, they're wearing like fun. This is an opportunity where you can do almost like I like to tell my like, it's like everybody describes themselves in the beginning, and then I go, it's like, all right, could you just please describe yourself, but as if you were a Chuck E. Cheese employee as well? Like, it's just like, I have a smock on, or like, it's just like, you all have these Chuck E. Cheese like smocks over your armor and over your wizard's robes, and it's just like, all right, go. It's gonna just be like performance checks or persuasion or deception checks. You know what I mean? And you can help each other, or if you're gonna do like a dance and it's athletics or something, because the suit is cumbersome. But they pass or fail, and then it's just him. It's like, oh, this is good, thanks, you did me a solid. And they just snap their fingers, and like, I don't know, the crazy looking challenge just explodes or whatever, and it's just like, here, no, you guys go on, here's a stupid amount of tickets.
He just
hands them tickets.
He just lets them through the side entrance, like the side.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He just lets them go through the employee entrance.
I have it listed as setup room, maze room, ball pit, the hall of imminent death of perpetual pain, 4.1, wish Cheeria happy birthday, room 5, minute to win it, room 6, Tiamat.
Yeah, that works. So you can bypass a room, or they just have to sing a kid happy birthday, so it's fast.
Right.
It's just a quick cop out of like, hey, I need you to do this thing. They do it or not, and then it's just like, hey, not stick to your day job, kid. And then he hands them a moderate amount of tickets because he did do a job. So it's like, it's guaranteed tickets, but it's like good or bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would say the toughest part of this is ticket denominations, figuring out like what you want where. But then team out, and then it's just like, going through that. With that, it is an interesting. I don't know how you plan the fight, but I would almost set the literal stage of it is a stage, and you can go up and surround and pound it, but that's where like lair actions and the stage is dangerous. So you would almost be inclined to hang back and sling spells and arrows and javelins and stuff like that, but he can launch big devastating things to you.
Right.
I don't know if you had him move around or not, or stationary, but it's almost
I
like
have
I would
him
keep
move.
him stationary.
Usually, but I do like the concept of keeping him stationary. The way I have it set up is so that there's like tables and chairs and stuff and like set up, and then there's the stage, and on the stage there are 5 like dragonborn just standing there with like different like instruments, and then when the fight starts, the heads just sort of like lift off of them and pull back, and they're like connected to the necks, and then the whole thing like walks out.
You know what's cool with that, because if you put the other things in there as like a fun lair action, you can almost have it. If you have it, there's the room, right? And you do like the like one like dragonborns by the door, 2 are here, 2 more are here type of thing, and then the big body, and all of them go to the front. You, let's say, divide its health by 5, right? And as lair actions, if they're positioning themselves further back, its action could be to launch one of its heads back to the body. But now it becomes like like this thing's gonna attack us from over here now. I thought I was safe behind this this counter, but I'm not, because it can attack from over here. But then there's also, oh crap, this thing can send itself to these bodies. Let's it's a one hit, just destroy it, because it's just an animatronic thing. So it's just like, but they have to take an action to just like make it so he can't send his head over here. So the lair action could be sending his head over there, or maybe keeping the head over here.
The heads all pull back to the main body of the dragon, and the 5 like headless bodies just sort of like wander off into the room.
Yeah, just harmlessly. But like, I think that's how you could get past like if you kept them stationary. Like, how would you make things affect the room and keep it dynamic, so it's not just you're hanging back or just coming up. It's, well, he can send his body out there. You know what I mean? Like, it was originally part of this band that is now the ultra band type of Hydra situation. But and just each one needs to be flavored a little differently as far as like the colors.
Right.
Because imagine if what do you call it? I'm trying to think what black would be, but I'm imagining like 5 flavors of things. You know what I mean? So like if green is like limeade, it still does whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like if it's fire, poison, ice, cold, electric, all those things. But like you make them different, like Mountain Dew flavors or something like
Right.
that.
Instead of being like the redhead has a fire breath, it breathes like pepperoni.
Yeah,
it just
what I
like
mean?
hits you
It'll
in
do fire
the
damage,
face. It's a
but
little
it's a
bit of spicy. It burns. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like like the it's like a Baja Blast with the blue one or something like that, but you can
The green one opens its mouth and it breathes just germs.
it's oh god.
Make a con save or you're sick. You have the flu now.
It's just it's salad, right? It's just salad bar salad, and you're like, this is just a bunch of vegetation. So, green vegetation, but it's like you take poison damage because God knows how many people's hands have touched that salad. Yeah. So it's just like
you
a bunch of like
beet on the forehead.
Bags of romaine lettuce are being dumped upon them, and it's like
That's so good.
But I think that physical timer to have them rush, and then nixing. I know what I do as far as like doing grand expiration, and then I constantly go, it's like, what do you want to say or do right now? And just making them go, this is the thing, go, kind of eggs things along and would, because that limit is tight, you know what I mean? So that would be like, and you have plenty of freedom to like zhuzh it along.
Right.
I think it's just the whole ticket denominations, giving them a fair shake, but then going, did you already decide is the thing they need in the ticket booth, or is it just at the end and the ticket booth helps them with the fight?
I think both, right? Like they have the like there are things in there that would help them with the fight. There's also the like the thing that they're looking for is like 100,000 tickets or something like that. Where like they're not going to be able to get it unless they kill the dragon.
Yeah.
I think that works well. That way they don't have to really worry about like the other tickets elsewhere, as long as they like do the end thing. Because I do think there will also be the temptation to like, let's just hoard our tickets, and I don't want that. So I think that's good. I think we have a good list of things. I'm very excited about the minute to win it games. Having like one for each like stat, I think will be very fun. Of like, you chose intelligence. Here, solve this puzzle box. You have this amount of time. Like you chose strength. You have to throw this as hard as you can at that thing.
Strength. I was gonna say too, if you did like actual physical things, it's just like stack a cup, stack these cups as high as you can, but like say like they weigh a crap ton, so it's like they have to roll for strength real fast, so it's like you want to stack as many cups in real life as high as you can. You have to roll though and get higher than an 8 every time to go you lifted that cup successfully. If not, they're wasting time physically rolling to re-grip themselves, so it's kind of like roll good, all right, I'm good.
You
and then
I like that a lot. You could for strength, you could also just do here are 2 weights. You have to hold them in your hand with your arms outstretched in front of you for this amount of time.
That's just mean.
Dexterity is definitely going to be like beer pong, essentially, like bounce it into a red solo cup. The intelligence is like solve a puzzle box. Wisdom is like a logic puzzle thing of like, if this person is married to this person and this person met this other person, then what is this thing? They have to solve that. Charisma. Charisma, the goblin is just like standing at the counter. He's like, seduce me.
Yes. That one's good. And then it's just like he puts on a wig though.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's so stupid.
That is very dumb. That one is something I would do with my home game. I don't think I'll do it with this corporate event. Charisma. What would charisma be?
Charisma would be, I think, I'd almost say like redo the Chucky, like the happy birthday thing again. Like, it's just like, hey, put on the suit again real quick. And then it's like you have 1 minute to, oh my God. This is either for memory, for intelligence, or for charisma. But like when you do the suit, if you do the Chuck E. Cheese suit thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You give them like a little, hey, this is the song and dance.
This is the birthday song,
right? Like this is the birthday song, right? And they have to do it. But for the charisma or intelligence check for the minute to win a game, it's like do the birthday song from the Chuck E. Cheese floor.
Right. Do the birthday song again.
Yeah, but they don't have it. Like you take it back afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, what was that song? It was like do happy birthday to you, Fungeon. I don't know. It's just like that's mostly right.
Ooh, sorry. That's not right at all. You didn't.
That's not enough. That's not enough. Do. That's not enough. Do.
You only did 4 do-do-do-doos, and there are 5 do-do-do-doos.
Oh man, I love that. That's so good. There could also be like an option between them. Like here's the easy one for this amount of tickets. Here's the hard one for this amount of tickets. And like I like the concept of this goblin just being like a little bit of a turd the whole time.
Yeah.
And so like
for 5 tickets, eat this cricket.
And they're like, I don't want to eat a cricket. And he's like, okay, you want to hear the bigger number of tickets? For 20 tickets, eat this box of crickets.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, I saw your message. I probably could have turned up my gain a lot.
Oh, you're
more,
good, man.
So I don't know.
All good. Okay. I think we're good.
I think we're
good. That is gonna be fun. I am very excited. They are not prepared for the nonsense that is headed their way.
Correct. Nor could they prepare.
How could they?
Right.
What could possibly allow them to prep for this? Short of watching our show.
It still won't help. There's physical things involved here.
There's going to be so many changes that are going to go through by the time I actually run it. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate you guys being here this morning. If you are around on Monday, so are we. We will be back 8 a.m. Eastern for more of this nonsense. Junie, we normally close this out with three calls to action. I feel like in the spirit of what we've just done, these should all be either like arcade or carnival related.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go first, and we'll just tag it out. First things first. At some point this weekend, do a minute to win it game, and then tweet at us what the minute to win it game that you did was and your time in doing it. And if it took you multiple times, let us know how many times you had to try before you succeeded on it.
That's good. People like getting rewarded for things. Mm-hmm. So just either handwrite or print out a few tickets, and just if anybody does literally anything for you, or you ask for something and they just hand them some tickets. So if your significant other, if you're like, hey, can you turn off the light over there? And it's like, thanks. And then you just hand them 3 tickets. And just they'll go, what? And it's just like, you earned that. And just leave them with that. And they'll just, it's a fun little, like, somebody just gave me tickets for holding the door opening for them. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what to do with these.
That's fantastic.
But that's something you can do.
I love that. For the last one, I'm going to build on that and say, as long as you're making tickets, make some hyper specific ones and just carry them with you and give them to like people who you see doing things. So like print one up that says like, you returned the cart to the cart holder thing at the grocery store. Good job. And just the first time you see somebody do it, hand it to them and just go, woo, and then run away.
fourth ticket related thing. If you make a bunch of tickets, make one a little different. And when you hand somebody like 3 tickets and one of them says like, "Oh, you got a gold one."
This ticket's gold. It's not. There's nothing different about it.
Oh, those aren't regular tickets. You got 2 regular ones and a gold. Oh, dang! And then they go, "It's like, what did I do to get this? And also, what does that mean? What? Huh?"
Every time you hand out tickets, make sure one of them is special for no reason.
Just in some, it's like, "Ooh, that one's left-handed."
Oh,
What?
You got a left-handed ticket.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to say to ever like confuse somebody. I go, "It's like, are you left-handed or like it's left-handed?" And they're like, "The fuck does that even mean? What? What's happening?" All right, I gotta go.
Oh, that's so dumb. I love that.
Okay.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Remember to embrace the nonsense. We will see you Monday for more of this. Until then, later.